Hello, everyone, our esteemed panelists and our online audience. I welcome you to this insightful and engaging panel discussion on the topic, the building blocks of quality culture. I am Jasmin Kumar, Head of Marketing at Caliber Technologies, a leading software solutions provider to the life sciences industry with over 2 decades being into the industry. Our conversation today holds a very special significance as we have gathered on the World Quality Day. It's a day, I would say, devoted to the relentless pursuit of excellence and quality in all our endeavors. And our chosen hashtag today is Quality Matters to Caliber, which beautifully echoes this year's theme as well, which is to realize your competitive potential. And this worldwide campaign, I think it not only fosters the awareness of the quality management profession, but I think it also places a spotlight on the concept of unlocking the one's competitive advantage. So I think in the honor of World Quality Day, we could not have thought about having a more distinguished panel of experts from Caliber other than our product excellence leaders who have gathered here today with us. As today's discussion topic says, building blocks of quality culture. And our panelists too, they are the foundational pillars of their respective domains within Caliber. And I'm thrilled to introduce Rajasekhar Gollapinni. He's the Product Excellence Leader Laboratory. Phanikar Bhaskara, he's the Product Excellence Leader Quality. Pavan Pasulapati, he's the Product Excellence Leader Manufacturing. And we have Dr. Kavita Vengurlekar, she's the Product Excellence Lead for Data Science. Welcome everyone once again. My first question is to you, Rajasekhar. How would you define a culture of quality in the context of the pharmaceutical industry, and why do you think it's crucial for its success?
Thanks, Jasmin, for the question. Before going to answer, first of all, let me say Happy World Quality Day for each and everyone. Yeah. So your question is basically on quality culture as well as how it is critical for my industry. Okay. First, let us put the culture. What is culture basically? So culture is nothing but adopting events, procedures, or traditions continuously for a period of time. Okay, quality culture ensures that all the employees prioritize quality in every aspect of their work. So it's not particularly a department or particular to a wing. Even though there is a quality control or quality assurance, these two departments are primary focus, but still it is everyone's responsibility to see how the quality we are generating, and at the end, what is our goal we are reaching. So basically, the quality culture which provides or help us to improve compliance, efficiency, risk mitigation, and maintain harmonized process across the delivery. Whether it is a manual system or whether it is an automated system, the final end results to reach this particular 4 critical parameters. Quality culture is a cornerstone for pharma. A final product which is directly reaching to the human is always to be safe to consume. So that end goal of pharmaceuticals procedure is safe drug release for end user. So for that, at every stage, starting from material in to final product release, the quality matters at each and every stage. So it's an inbuilt culture from everyone where we are looking for the end user safety. So that's at a high level what I want to define how the quality culture really matters. And it is really critical because it is directly impacting on the human life.
Thank you so much, Rajasekhar, for beautifully sharing and setting the context right for the session today. And I think you rightly said, even a strong quality culture, I think it not only ensures the regulatory compliance, but it also builds that trust with the patients as well as the healthcare providers. I think it's a very, very fundamental reason for the long-term success of the industry, I would say. So thank you. So my next question moves on to you, Pavan. So Pavan, what do you think that, what contributes to the quality culture in the manufacturing process, and how does specifically CaliberBRM, how does it supports it?
Wonderful question now, Jasmine. Taking a cue from what Raj has said, quality culture is the collection of the mindsets, the behaviors, and also the kind of the commitment that each of the department and the individuals in the organization bring and prioritize those things like for the commitment towards quality. So, in my opinion, the imperative of quality culture is doing the right activities in the manufacturing process, even when no one is looking. Digitalization is something like which would empower the pharma companies to build a strong quality culture by creating a foundation of accurate data, streamlined processes, and data-driven decisions. Coming to CaliberBRM, it has various controls that are built in that helps the operators and the managers to navigate through the manufacturing process effectively. It enables transparency, efficiency, and accountability, leading to improved product quality and regulatory compliance. There are several examples which I can actually bring from CaliberBRM. Just to take a simple example of managing the batch life cycle, right from the issuance of the batch till the closure of the batch. So the trust on the system actually gets built as the users start using it. And then they can also leverage the review by exception. Whenever like there are only exceptions that can be reviewed, rather than going through each and every step during the manufacturing process. So those are some of the things which are significantly available in CaliberBRM, which actually will be very useful for the shop floor operators and the QA professionals.
Thank you, Pavan. And I think it also starts with a great leadership commitment to quality. And I think which Caliber is proud to have you on board leading the manufacturing suite. So thank you for the answer. My next question is to you, Phanikar. So, Phani, in the quality management, it can sometimes get very challenging as there are many steps to be followed even for the smallest of the deviations. So, do you think there is a way to make things easier within integrated QMS? And how does this overall leads to the stronger quality culture?
Great question. I do agree that there's a lot of activity involved because of the criticality and the scale of operations. But I think the entire trick lies in the ability of the organization to keep the process as lean as possible and derive the continuous learning from it and again push it back to the lean process. And this is a lot of experiences that gather around for all this. I would just like to relate this also to the old saying which says prevention is always better than cure, right? So whatever can be prevented should definitely be prevented. And in this scale, when something is being performed in this scale, there's a lot of information that is needed, and there is so much information available across the organization that gets generated during the processes. And this is where the integrated approach will really help, in seeing the system as a whole, instead of chambers and channels, etc., or stages, or whatever we can call it. But once this end-to-end approach, what are the dependencies, what are the inputs coming out of one stage, what are the outputs going out of the same stage, and how it relates to the next stage, etc., is clearly understood, then it becomes a matter of only understanding the weak links, something like a Kanban sort of things that we talk about. And once we understand these bottlenecks or weak links, it's more on improvising on those things. So the part of setting the work culture is this: we need to understand the weak links and we need to work on these weak links. And for this, again, there's a lot of data that is needed, and there's so much of data anyway that is generated when the processes are executed. And this is what will set the working culture in continuously improving and get it right by design itself. Instead of trying to work it out at a later stage, get the process right by design. And this is how I think a strong quality culture can really be ingrained into the organization with the help of an integrated QMS.
Right. Thank you so much, Phani. It's very well said. I think you've mentioned about very, very pertinent points. And I think by integrating also the QMS, it fosters the strong quality culture by promoting the collaboration and also transparency leading to the continuous improvement. So very well said. Thank you, Phani. My next question is to you, Kavita. Kavita, recently we have done a webinar on annual product quality review. And in your recent webinar, you have mentioned that data is a critical component in building quality culture. So could you share a few examples of how the pharma companies today, they have embraced the data analytical solutions for enhanced decision making and eventually creating a quality culture?
Sure, Jasmine. So let me take you to the yesteryear when a Greek scientist, Thales of Miletus, studied and analyzed 10 years of weather data, just 10 data points. and predicted the weather for that year. As per his insights, he predicted that weather would be conducive to an olive harvest. What strategy he made? He had reserved all olive presses in advance, and that too at a discount, so that he could rent them out at a higher prices when demand peaked. So with this, he made a fortune. All right. Now from this story, two things are proven. Data does not lie, and every data has a story to tell, which is supported by a science nowadays. And today, with the development and democratic transition of a business intelligence software that empower users to analyze as well as extract useful conclusions from data. So, answering to your question, are many, such as Google, Amazon, Walmart, Southwest. Now, merchandise they should stock before the stop. Their analyst mine records of a past purchases from other Walmart stores under similar conditions. Now, sorting a terabyte of a customer history to decide which goods to send beforehand. What I'm insisting here is, by predicting what is going to happen instead of waiting for it to happen. So there is a difference. So Walmart trucks filled with toasters, pastries were soon speeding down to the stores, right? Similarly, FDA has enough rules and regulations that every pharma company must abide. And this is imposed so as to do two things: promote the responsibility and quality culture in the organization, and second, identify the situations early in the game by remaining proactive. Walmart story again, right? So APQR, which is a regulatory compliance report to be submitted in audits and inspection, which is a mandate. But nowadays, FDA is advocating continued process verification report and a bunch of reports under quality metrics. So be it a APQR or a CPV or a quality metrics report, those are nothing but the collection of facts and information, which is nothing but a data. And by having some rules in place, FDA wants all the pharma companies to organize their data and examine it continuously, which is nothing but the analysis, isn't it? And by analyzing data, organization can discover patterns in data, which is nothing but the insights. So APQR, CPV, quality metrics are the step towards the quality culture. Data is the key, as I have mentioned in my webinar, which everyone must learn to hear, learn to analyze it, and draw a solid conclusion and prediction out of it.
Thank you, Kavita, for sharing an interesting story of, I agree that data does not lie. In fact, companies today, they are leveraging the data to improve the decision making and optimizing the processes. So exciting times ahead, I would say. So with that, I would want to ask you, Rajasekhar, as we are talking about data. So data integrity and accuracy, they are also a big factor of the quality success in laboratories. So how do systems like LIMS as well as environmental monitoring softwares, they contribute to the data integrity and the quality culture?
Yeah, very good question. Specifically, data BI and data integrity is a common point for every discussions. Yeah, there are multiple guidelines to mitigate BI issues or data integrity issues, starting from Alcoa Plus, or when we are moving into electronic version 21 CFR Part 11 at all. So basically, whether we are in manual or electronics, data integrity issues are going to be there, and how we are going to mitigate, starting from Alcoa rules like attributable, legible, contemporaneous, original, and accurate, and plus. There are multiple things are added. So again, the final goal is the quality and safe drug what we are releasing into the market. Okay. So if it is a manual system where there may be multiple scenarios where there are chances where it may not be intentional, but there may be a chances it will lead to an error or a scenario of data integrity, like something data is missed out to enter, or incomplete data captured, or partial data saved, or maybe typo errors where actual results is something or original, but when we start pushing that information at multiple records, if you consider a lab where it is not automated, where it is manual, they are writing one batch number, minimum 40 to 45 different registers, starting from batch receipt into QC till final certificate of analysis. I'm just giving a minimum count. It can be the usage of chemicals, they need to enter which batch for how much quantity is used, or the instrument usage, or it can be the allotment of the sample. So there are multiple areas where the analyst or the QC team is entering information in multiple registries. And when it comes to manual, the controls are very, very limited. So I can enter any information in a piece of paper. It won't control. It should be only in date format, or it should be only numeric, or it should control in case of instrument is not calibrated, it should not allow to pull the data. So these are all the additional advantages when they start implementing any automated system. And from CaliberLIMS or CaliberEM Group, where from the day one we have completely designed the applications with all guidelines, including 21 CFR Part 11 or Alcoa Plus. So the advantages, there are basically two major advantages I can highlight here. One is the compliance; it will increase that bar to a next level, and second, it will also reduce redundant data entry for the user. So automatically, it will increase the productivity. Because as simple example, as I mentioned, if I want to write a particular information till starting from batch analysis to final release, there may be minimum 30 to 35 places where they're entering just an example batch number. But there are many other inputs, including like weights, calibration due dates, or it can be consumption, how much quantity they have consumed. So these are all the manual entries where they're, they are prone to, or there may be a chance it will go for a TA issues. So to overcome that, we came out with multiple modules and multiple controls, including a regular caliber quality lab, or it can be microbial or microbiology lab, including like environment schedules and all, where system will control or alert in advance so that there won't be any misplace or there won't be any data difference from original to the end till the end. So that is where it is very, very important to control all these things at each stage so that it will prevent all the DI issues. At the same time, we'll also make the lab more agile, more cost effective, and future ready with our solutions.
Thank you, Rajasekhar, for sharing. I think these are very pertinent points that you have spoken about. And I think the capabilities of LIMS as well as MPRO, which is the environmental monitoring software solution. So they are certainly going a long way in terms of maintaining the accurate records and real-time monitoring, because these systems contribute to a culture where data accuracy is certainly paramount. So thank you for the inputs.
Yes, yes. So maybe 100% paperless lab is another example where it will capture data directly from the multiple sources, including from starting right from balance to critical instruments like CDS. And there won't be any transcriptional errors as it is directly taking the values from original. So that is where the end user or the data integrity controls what are all built in the applications to finally release the same drug to the end user.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. In fact, we are very proud as an organization, Caliber, to be one of the first in the country to have the first use case of 100% paperless lab solution. So thank you for sharing that. So with that, I move to you, Pavan. So I would want to understand that regulatory compliance, it's a challenge and it's a necessity at the same time, right? And so can you discuss how the pharma manufacturers, they can stay compliant with the evolving regulations and they maintain a proactive stance towards compliance?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think Raj has quite elaborately talked about the 21 CFR Part 11 and also various other controls. I think each manufacturer, if we look at, they are required to win the trust of the patients. So that's something like which is possible to do to complying to the regulatory standards. At the same time, like they will have to provide the strong evidence which is backed up by the data integrity. So each manufacturer will have to assess their quality maturity from time to time, and then like develop the roadmaps to reach the state of compliance to evolving regulations. So regulations are going to have some additions like which are going to come forward. So the first and foremost step, like each manufacturer should look at, is moving away from the paper-based process. So as you and Raj like already talked about the paperless laboratory, similarly the paperless manufacturing. So moving away from the paper-based processes is something like which will become the first step. And then adopting the Part 11, the 21 CFR Part 11 compliance solutions will help the customers to stay ahead. So either like it could be in the quality control area, or it is in the quality assurance, or like it in the manufacturing, or like any of the data-driven decisions. So all the solutions like which need to be adopted by each of this manufacturer will have to be 21 CFR Part 11 compliant, so that any other additions, any other controls like which are going to be required as the regulations evolve, it becomes very easy as the foundation is already very strong. So any of the changes that come forward, then like that can be incorporated in it. For example, now Annex 11 is like one of the very hot topic where like it talks about the contamination, various other controls like which are required to be there. So when someone has already all the foundation layer that's set up with the required controls and also the applications which are compliant, then it becomes very easy for someone to build on top of it. So I would say to keep up with the pace, it is required to really lay a very strong foundation, and then it becomes easy for building anything on top of what someone has. So the manufacturers will have to monitor this continuously, look at the adoption of each of the application for its fullest use, and then like continuously look at how we can improve further in meeting the evolving regulations.
Right. Thank you, Pavan. I think the key takeaway from your message for the manufacturers would be that being proactive rather than reactive is the key to maintaining the compliance and quality. So thanks for sharing. Yeah. So my next question is to you, Kavita. So Kavita, the continuous process verification, it is mandatory and it is undoubtedly an important process of pharma manufacturers. So can you elaborate how Caliber CPV it assists in keeping a close eye on the quality?
So essentially, the goal of continuous improvement in quality management is to establish new and higher standard of excellence rather than merely meeting or exceeding the benchmarks. And I believe a culture of quality excellence is fostered by the concept of continuous improvement, what Pavan was also mentioning just now. So the Caliber CPV encapsulates three approaches. First, Six Sigma, which helps to reduce variability and defects in the processes. Second, Lean, which helps in streamlining the processes and eliminating the waste. And third is a Kaizen, which brings continuous improvement culture and small wins. So all these three concepts in Caliber CPV encourage and help users to be proactive rather than reactive. That's what the quality culture is talking about, right? And I'm very proud to announce that it supports the three pillars of pharmaceutical industry: quality, efficiency, and compliance. So fundamentally supporting the small and gradual changes, improvement, or that rather improves the process resilience and lowers the variability. The outcome: high quality final products, increased market competitiveness, better therapeutic efficacy, and increased patient safety. Ultimately, anyone in a pharma industry would love to have it, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. I think it also allows the manufacturers to closely monitor their processes, the defect variations early, and take the required corrective action. So thanks for sharing, Kavita. So, Funny, I have my last question coming to you. So that's quality and compliance, they often go hand in hand, right? And in a highly regulated environment, so what role does digitizing the quality management plays?
I think it plays a very important role. And really, digitalization looks like the only possible option at present that is really ensuring great results. Two big things that will really change. One, of course, we've all been speaking, and Kavita has always been stressing on that: the availability of the data. And what do we do with this data? Continually improve, make our decisions. And of course, the next part, the other part of digitalization is always the automation of the process itself. But we tend to think the automation is the bigger part of it because it makes everything flexible, it makes everything faster, etc. But what is actually happening behind the scene is the capability of that software or application to be able to generate the data, capture the data, and to interpret it correctly. Right now, this interpretation is going to be really difficult because of the amount of data that is available. And so we need really systems that can accurately interpret this data as well. So this is going to be a real game changer, I feel. And I mean, you can imagine systems helping with this data. You can imagine really systems helping in the root cause analysis or trying to assist in the kappas and such things that are automatically coming out of the system. So I think one place to go to the understanding of the quality organization is this. This is definitely the happening digitalization, and all this, what it really gives is more awareness and more knowledge with the data that it is really taking in. And of course, with that more awareness and knowledge, it is always better or it is always helpful to take better decisions. So that is what I think is the role of digitalizing this quality management. It is the current and it is the future, as per me. Yeah.
Very aptly said, Funny. Thank you for those inputs. And I think it also helped the pharma companies to maintain that strong reputation and trust with the stakeholders. So very aptly said. Thank you, Funny. So with this, there is one question which I would want all of us to answer in a quick 1 minute is, our hashtag for today's event is Quality Matters to Caliber. So what do you think this means to you in just one line? Let's start with Rajasekhar.
Yeah, I can say it is the trust or our DNA. So basically, the end user safety is the what pharma is looking, and we are delivering our products so that they can trust and they'll peacefully release the quality products to the world.
Thank you. Pavan?
This phrase actually takes me to a point where Caliber is synonym for quality and compliance powered by automation to generate the safe medicines produced by the manufacturers.
Funny?
Yeah, I think for us, since we are catering to the regulatory industry, I think quality for us is synonymous to safety and trust. So I think it's the single most important aspect for Caliber.
Thank you. Kavita?
So for me, quality is a habit and always the result of an intelligent effort. And that is what Caliber is doing it.
Thank you. I cannot ask for any better summary of our hashtag Quality Matters to Caliber. Thank you so much for so beautifully depicting it from your own vertical and your own efforts that you have put in of years immemorial, making Caliber what it stands today. So thank you everyone for joining us today for this insightful panel discussion on the building blocks of a quality culture. It's been truly engaging and thought-provoking conversations. You have provided us with a wealth of knowledge and practical strategies coming from your own experience, emphasizing on the importance of quality culture. So I think the key takeaway from today's session is that quality culture isn't just about processes and procedures. I think it's also the fostering of the mindset of continuous improvement, collaboration, and accountability at all levels of the organization. Thank you so much once again, especially to our online audience to join us today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.